Hi, Amanda. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm very well, Amanda. We were in New York with Christine. Amanda, where are you in the world today? Tell me.
I'm in Oakville, Ontario, which is in Canada.
All right, Oakville, Ontario, Canada. Okay, so we're jumping to the Great White North. And Amanda, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to go up to the top, and you have your 1 minute. Now we're going to make this a little bit faster because you guys have kind of seen the flow. Amanda's got a company called CaseCom, and we're going to hear about this. And once I hit the top, you'll have that solid 1 minute. Think about some of the feedback we gave Christine as well. Okay. And we'll go from there. Amanda, are you ready?
Yep,
All right. Amanda, my name is Ash Singh. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well. Very well.
I'd like to introduce my company, CaseCom. It's an all-in-one software for organizing case competitions. By
Mm,
automating manual organizing processes, CaseCom allows organizers to simply manage themselves and case competitions without breaking a sweat. On top
mm,
of that, CaseCom elevates any event by creating an engaging community for participants to discover new competitions and connect with one another. With
mm.
case competitions becoming a vital aspect in the lives of students looking to enter a career in business and consulting, we saw a desire amongst organizers, judges, and participants for a simpler and more enjoyable experience. CaseCom is that solution and will create a better competition experience for all stakeholders involved. Today, we are asking for $10,000 to bootstrap our growth efforts. With the upcoming launch of our version 2 software, we are seeking this amount for marketing and sales outreach, as well as to subsidize customers with a free tier in order to build our user base.
Mm. Excellent. All right. And perfect on timing, Amanda, as well. Okay. It's very clear what you do, right? And so, again, people in the audience, feel free to give feedback. Now, Amanda, just so everyone is here, not everyone had a chance to go to Harvard Business School or the Ivy Business School or some of the top business schools. Do you want to just let everyone know a little bit about what a case is, just for everyone's sake?
Yes, for sure. So case competitions are becoming very popular in the business space.
Mhm.
How my school uses case competitions is that they provide a challenge or a problem in the form of a case, and people that are competing in this competition are given a certain time limit to do research and come up with a solution and recommendation, which they then
Mhm.
present to the client.
Understood. Okay. And for those of you that might not know this, but Harvard Business School, the Ivy Business School, Harvard Business School is a pure case-based school. So if you wanted to go to Harvard Business School, and you would be learning through the case method, right, as Amanda is describing. So Amanda, there's probably going to be some feedback in the chat, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the big picture on what you spoke about because some people might be like, okay, interesting case method for business schools. Um, let's talk a little bit about the big picture because when I think about the case method today, I would look at it a little bit different, Amanda. First of all, I've had a chance to go to a case-based school. I went to the Ivy Business School, and I also teach at schools, business schools that use the case method. And when I look at the case method, you talked about kind of running a case competition efficiently. But when I look at it, I look at the problem statement. Okay. When I think about the case method, what I really like about that is, you can go to interviews and get the questions in advance, right, Amanda, when you're applying for a job. Okay. But if you give them a unique case to work on, you're able to see how they react, from a timing perspective, how they work with teams, all these other things. And so when I look at the value of CaseCom, I don't just see it as a case, for business schools. I see it as the starting point, right? Get it really solid at the Ivy Business School or Harvard Business School or the other top case-based schools. But what I see it as is it's a tool for you to assess somebody's skills in a short, live fashion. Okay. Because, so I see it kind of as a hiring solution, Amanda. Do you see that as well?
Yeah, so that actually was something that we worked on this year as well. While we are targeting students that organize these case competitions, we
Yes.
were also this past year looking at different companies that may use case competitions for recruitment purposes. So one of our clients this year was Shopify, and Shopify would hold internal case competitions to assess their employees. So
Yes.
CaseCom doesn't actually provide the case, it's just a tool for organizers to efficiently run their
Yes.
competition.
Yeah, because I wanted that to come out. So when I see it as a recruiting tool and an ongoing assessment tool for corporations, for businesses. Okay, so it's completely like that. I see as the big value in what you're doing, right? Being able to run a case competition and being able to assess who should we promote, okay, and who we should hire, okay, and start doing that at scale. And if you have a platform that allows you to do it at scale, leveraging, whatever Microsoft Teams solutions or whatever is kind of the node to kind of connect the dots, then I think that there's a lot of value here. Because if you could do an assessment and say, people that are applying for the next Shopify job, because everyone wants to work for, the Googles and the Shopifys and the Facebooks, and you actually give them this tool and you're able to provide a different set of insights that are not able to be seen from a typical resume or a recruiter interview. That I think is valuable. Does that make sense, Amanda?
Yeah. After the past year, we've decided with version 2 to actually target student organizations though. And the reason why is because corporations have a lot of money and they have a lot of software engineers and developers. They can easily develop our solution. And that is why we are targeting students who may not have those skills or capabilities to organize, to create something like this tool, and maybe also don't have the the amount of funding that companies do, or the big team. They have like a smaller team and need something to help them.
Okay. So, but do you think that every business would actually do this, Amanda? Do you think that every business would want to spend the time, energy, and money to develop their own case competition assessment tool?
No, I don't think so. But the other issue we ran into was that not all companies use the case method for recruitment processes. While majority of schools, even if they don't have the case method in like their program, there are student organizations at all schools that will host a case competition.
Got it.
So
Got
we
it.
just thought the
Got it.
market was a lot bigger for student clubs.
Yeah. The challenge, Amanda, and Amanda, are you in school, or have you graduated? Are you in school?
Yeah, I'm at the Ivy Business School.
Okay, so what's one thing that we know about almost every student at in university? They
They,
have no money. They're
yeah,
broke, right? Okay, right. And so the thing is your customer then would probably have to be the university itself. So that might be the right. Is that correct? So you start off with universities, right? Is that correct? Would they be your customer, or would it be the clubs?
we were thinking of also targeting the universities, but from my experience as a case competition organizers, a lot of the
Mm,
clubs do have funding. They get
yeah.
sponsorships from
Sure.
different companies. And
Yeah.
that is part of why we're asking for the 10K, because we
Mm,
decided after this year that we need to build up our user base. And to do that, we want to offer a free tier, because
mm,
what we found was all the students were interested, but like you said, they don't want to pay unless they know what they're getting. And there are a lot of case
yeah.
competitions at our school that do have funding. So for bigger competitions, we plan on charging them. So we're offering like a smaller free tier first.
Now, Amanda, I'm talking to sound like a dumb cop. Are you independently wealthy? Like, do you, because you're selling something to poor people, like people that don't have money. Even the clubs don't have money. Why don't we sell it to somebody that has tons of money, right? So like, is this like a charity idea? Like, do you want to change the world by helping them, or would you like to make a lot of money, Amanda? Is that something that is interesting for you, or are you maybe you're married to, or not married? You're still in school, but maybe you have a lot of money. But my question to you is, why don't we just make this big? Why don't we just take it to the next level? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely is
Right?
an option. Our team are third year students going into fourth year. So
Okay.
at the moment, what we're trying to do is CaseCom for us is kind of like a side project, and we're trying
Okay.
to grow it and see how far we can get. So we're
Yeah.
okay at the moment offering a free tier, especially to our peers at our university,
Yeah.
as well
Mhm.
as the financial cost for CaseCom, like to actually host it, is not that much. So it's not like we are putting in a lot of expenses into running this
Yeah.
platform.
Amanda, what I'd like to do is I'd like to pitch your idea to you now. Okay.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch your idea. If you wanted $10,000 is not enough money to get, like, that's in the VC world, in the investment world, that's what we call friends and family, right? You know, and you're living in Oakville, which is one of the richest kind of towns in Canada. You could probably go to certain neighborhoods and knock on the door and get $10,000. That's easy. But what I want to do is I'm going to pitch your idea based on how I see it, and if I wanted to create $100 million company around what you're doing, this is what I would do. Is that okay?
Yep, sounds good.
Right? Because that's what I would like. I would like you guys to create something where, you could offer this for free forever to university students. Don't charge them anything, but get your money somewhere so that you have the right resources in place to make this happen. All right. Okay. So I'm going to pitch CaseCom. We're heading to the top. Amanda, you get to be, a rich, a mogul in Oakville. All right. Are you ready? I'm hitting
Mhm.
the top. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Amanda. I'm looking forward to hearing about your startup.
Hi, Amanda. My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the CaseCom team. As you might know, when people are hiring, there's a big challenge. More than 50% of first time hires are bad hires. And we've discovered that the systems in place, the typical resume, and all the other standard interview processes don't work. I've had the opportunity to create a product called CaseCom, which leverages the proven methodology of the case study method that's used at Harvard and the Ivy Business School to allow people to go and test their skills in a live setting. This provides unique insights for recruiters and people looking to promote employees at any level, at any business. And so, what we've done is we've taken the methodology, we've put it into the Microsoft Teams environment that has over 150 million active daily users as an app. And we are planning to offer this solution to pretty much any business, any size around the world. We're looking for $10,000 to get our app finished, which is a small amount of money. But then once we kind of get scale, we feel that we can be the next generation recruiting tool and an employee evaluation tool, which is a multi-billion-dollar market. I'd love to chat with you a little bit more to share with you how we do it and how we're going to transform the space. Okay, Amanda? So it's a little bit different, okay? Kind of turned it on its head, right? You are in a great space right now, Amanda. You're in an amazing space right now. And the case study method is work magical for Harvard and Ivy and all these places. I think that if you just create a simple app in Microsoft Teams, you'd have hundreds of businesses around the world trying it out because they all need this help. Okay. And because you've had some unique experience in the case study method and you're running it, you might be one of the most qualified people on the planet in 2021 to make this happen. Okay. But Amanda, I want you to think bigger. This needs to be kind of next level. Okay. Don't charge clubs. Do not charge students because it's a depressing experience, right? My club only has $2,000 and I need money for beer and alcohol, right? And pizza. Don't compete with that, right? Build a product now, think bigger. The world needs this. These experimental, putting people on the spot, really knowing what their true potential is. That's what you're doing, right? And I think there's tons of companies that won't do it themselves, Amanda. They just want to go into whatever Slack or Microsoft Teams or whatever it is and just turn it on and get their systems going and get an assessment, a dashboard, and make it happen. Okay. So that's my view on it. And I think that, there's no time like the present to make it happen. Everyone is now working virtually, right? And look up Microsoft Teams and see what's happening there, or a Zoom plugin, wherever you want to make it work. And I think there's a huge potential on what you're doing. All right.
Okay.
Now I didn't,
Thank you so
I
much.
didn't know, my pleasure. I completely changed your pitch today. So hopefully that provides a different insight, but I really wanted you to get a sense of that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good luck and stay safe and enjoy the beautiful summer in Oakville. Okay.